Teacher Mindy here with VIP Kid. So today's video is going to be about how to use your paper towel roll instead of the toilet paper roll. I don't know about you, but paper towels are just as hard to find in my store as the toilet paper is. Luckily, I ordered several off Amazon because we were getting quite low. So what you're going to need is one paper towel roll. You'll need some of the Alligator's Tacky glue, or any glue works. I'm just very impatient, so I like my glue to dry fast. You need 2 Google eyes, matching size, doesn't matter which size you choose to use, but 2 Google eyes. You're going to need some green background that is 6" by 11" to cover your paper towel tube. You're going to need some white for the teeth. I did it about 4 3/4" long, which is pretty long. You probably don't even need it this long. You could probably cut this down, and then maybe about 1 inch wide, but then I cut the zigzags in and out. You're going to need 2.5" by 1" for the little alligator legs. This is what my alligator looks like, by the way. I forgot to tell you, you're making an alligator today. Now, the alligator is a great prop to use for your semi-aquatic animals, so animals that are in the water and on land both. It's also a great prop to use when you're teaching less than and greater than, because I always teach my students that the alligator wants to eat the biggest number, so his mouth, the open part of his mouth, points to the largest number. So alligator prop is awesome for that as well. So today's an alligator. Okay, so 2.5 by 1" for the legs. And then I cut some 1" squares, or you could even just cut a strip that's 1" wide. And then I cut some triangles out of that. I just freehand cut the triangles. And then I folded them at the bottom to glue them on the back to make the little spiky things on the back of the alligator. All right, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is glue down your base. So you could pick any shade of green that you would like. I just kind of wanted to go with like a mossier green. Thought maybe it looked a little more realistic for an alligator. You could ink some stripy lines or draw some marker stripy lines to make it look a little more realistic if you wanted to. Mine's just solid green. So while I'm doing this, let's talk some more about VIP Kid. If you are interested in looking into VIP Kid, what I offer people who sign up and use my referral code is one-on-one coaching time. So that allows you to call me and email me and talk to me or FaceTime me. FaceTime is great because then I can show you my classroom and what props I have. I'm sure you're not too overly surprised about this, but I do have a lot of props. I kind of like my props. I really like my dollar store props, so cheap props are great, but I do have a lot of props. I like using them. You don't have to use any props. You could get any physical props, I should say. You could get all of your props off of digitally. So you could do your props digitally, so you don't have to have actual physical props if you choose to go that route. But the hiring process, so you fill out a little application, super quick and easy, crazy easy. The thing that they're looking for is that you have a bachelor's degree in something. It does not have to be in teaching. And you need to have 2 years experience now. They moved it up to 2 years. I think it used to only be 1 year, but it is definitely 2 now. And 2 years experience working with children in some capacity. So it could be teaching Sunday school, or working at a summer youth camp, or it could be coaching football or homeschooling your children. So it needs to be working with children in some way, shape, or form. Okay, there we go, got it on. And then after you've filled out your application, they're also going to ask you if you are eligible to work in the United States or in Canada. They want you to have a Native American speaking accent. So you could have a Southern accent or an East Coast accent, or you could talk normal like us Midwesterners. Just kidding. You could have any of the accents that we have throughout the United States. It's fine, as long as it sounds like a US or Canadian accent. Okay, so hang on 1 minute. So the next thing you're going to do is cut your little V's for your mouth. I just freehand cut them. I didn't draw them. Just a little toilet or paper towel roll thing, so I didn't really worry about drawing them out. But I did keep my crease on the bottom just to avoid that opening up and splitting. So you're just going to cut in however long you want that mouth to be. I'm going to guess right about here is good. So here's one mouth. And then I'll put this on the other side and just kind of use it as a guide for cutting the next one. Probably up here a little bit more, running into that seam. So after you fill out your online application, you hear back within 24 hours or less. And they will send you a link of your next step, which is the interview process. Now, there's a couple of ways to do your interview. You can schedule a one-on-one, which is what I did, where you're meeting with a one-on-one VIP kid person from head office. They ask you a few questions, then they pretend to be a student, and you teach a quick little 5-minute interview, or a lesson, sorry, quick little 5-minute lesson to them. And I just recently uploaded a video of what that 5-minute lesson looks like. It's called Me, Myself, and I. They're looking for some different things that I talked about in that video. You'll have to go watch that video, and you'll see what they're looking for. So my teeth are a little bit long, so I'm just going to go ahead and give them a little trim, and then I'm going to put some glue on and go ahead and glue those inside the mouth, so they're just poking out a little bit. You do want it to look a little bit scary, because after all, it's an alligator. So another way that you can interview, which I did not do, but from what I have researched, is to do a smart demo. So you go on your smartphone, and I believe there's an app you have to download, and then you they show you, I guess there's like a little 5-question quiz, which is like, they give you some information to read, and then they're basically giving you a little 5-question quiz about it. And just kind of basic teaching stuff, common sense stuff that's super easy to pass. Then they'll show you a slide, one slide only, and they'll show you an example of someone teaching that slide. And then they ask you to go ahead and videotape yourself teaching that slide. And you get to do it as many times as you want, the videotape. You can videotape it as much as you want. And they only look at your best videotape. So you say, this is the best one, this is the one I want you to review somehow. But the whole process of that takes 10 minutes is all, just 10 minutes. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so here's both sets of teeth on the alligator. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put it on this side. So again, I'll measure and trim and then go ahead and glue them in. Then after that, they tell you how much they're going to pay you class, $7 to $9 a class. So average right now is $7.50, a very common one. So they will tell you how much they're willing to pay you, and that's usually based on your experience and things like that. Then they will give you a mock lesson. So they'll give you 2 different lessons that they want you to prepare and teach, and you have something called a mock mentor watching those lessons. And the mock, at that point, you already are offered a job. You're not hired officially until you sign your contract, but you're already offered a job. So you can do your mock teaching. It's kind of like a student teaching. It's the way that they have you do your certification. You can do that multiple times. So if for some reason the mock mentor's like, you really need to practice your TPR more, or you really need to practice your speaking speed, you're talking too fast, you get to go practice and then redo your mock class again. So it's great practice. I passed it the first time, but people often don't pass it the first time. I was very nervous when I heard that. I'm like, what? I've been teaching in the classroom for 22 years, a reading specialist. I hope I pass this, but I was super nervous because teaching online is so different than teaching in the classroom. Okay, so here we are with the mouth and the teeth, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and glue the eyes on. Anyhow, but I was able to pass it in the first time. If you're not able to pass it the first time, don't sweat it. It's just more practice, not a big deal. So you meet with the mock mentor, you teach your little class, they give you some suggestions, and then the next step is uploading all your information. All right, so now back to the alligator. I'm going to give a quick little trim to make a tail. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting it kind of like a fat V here and just making a tail. That doesn't look so great. And then the part that's not the tail, I'm gonna cut away. See how it's cut away? Just cut off. So the things that you have to do to get your certification from VIP Kid is, if you don't already have a TESOL certification, they provide training and a test for you to get a VIP Kid TESOL certification. So it's not a TESOL certification that you can use anywhere else except through VIP Kid. And I know some teachers will go ahead and get their TESOL certification from another company. But if you're only going to work for VIP Kid, it doesn't matter. But other companies have you go and get a TESOL certification from an external company. It costs like $20 to get it, and you do some studying and take a little test, you pass, and then you're open to work for multiple companies. But with VIP Kid, it's all free, and the material is provided for you, and you just study it and take your test. So the next thing I'm going to do is add my little legs. So I pre-folded the legs, if you can tell, and I kind of arched them. I just bent them with my finger and arched them so that they looked like legs. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those on. Just kind of decide where I want to place his little legs. You see here. That looks about right. There's a leg. Oops, it's not staying. Because I have to hold it for a little bit longer. This is that impatient part that I do. And then I'm going to be gluing another one here. So the other thing is you get your TESOL, you upload all of your documents then at that time. That's when you're gonna upload your college degree. If you have your teaching certificate, you upload that. You upload your profile picture. You upload a little intro video, which I have samples of that on my YouTube channel. And then you're going to upload your bio. There's like a little short bio that you write. And there's 2 pictures that are kind of your community or family pictures or something like that. And what they're wanting in those pictures is just something like that you're interested in. So since my girls are big, I didn't put pictures of my family. I just put a picture of me with one of my dogs, the dog that I consider mine. He's always here when I'm teaching class, and I often use him as a prop in my class. Kids love to see him. It's super fun. I haven't had anybody who's been upset with seeing him. If I ask and I say, do you like dogs? And they say no, then I just know, don't ever show them my dog again. But if they say yes and they want to see him, he's more than happy to climb up on my lap and be used as a prop. Hey, I brought my horse to school when I was a brick and mortar teacher, so what's a dog on my lap when I'm teaching, right? So you're uploading those things, sign your contract, and you're ready to go. You need to open your time slots. At first, bookings can be really slow because you're a brand new teacher. They do try to make sure brand new teachers get some bookings, but the parents don't know you yet. So once you get some students and they click with you, and not every student's going to click with you. You know, they might be looking for somebody young. That's not me. They might be looking for somebody who is a theater major and is putting on a theater act every class. Again, that's not me. I try to be very high energy when I'm teaching, but you just have to be yourself. That's the main thing. You really have to be yourself. And some students are more geared to a little bit more quiet, laid back. Some are geared towards super high energy, crazy antics. And they'll tell you what they like. The students will, or the parents will, and you can adjust your classes accordingly. Every class is videoed, so I always tell people to teach as if the world is watching, because It is. Every class is videotaped. So you get to go back as a teacher and re-watch your classes. I don't do that very often, but I have done some, and it was very eye-opening. One class I learned, well, several classes, but what I learned in these classes is my computer was down here. So my eye level was down here. So I looked like I was half asleep in all of those classes. I raised my computer up. I have like a little stand that my computer sits on. So it's more like I'm looking up for the camera instead of looking down. So it helps my eyes look more awake and alert. So it's always a good idea to watch periodically, go through and watch your videos back. You notice when you watch back, like if you're touching your hair, if you're drinking your water too much, if you're, I don't know, like it was just very interesting to watch. And I'm like, oh, with 100,000 teachers, you have to be on your A game with every single class, because if you're not, they can easily find another teacher. There's so many teachers out there for them to pick from. So you really have to be on your A game. That's why it's kind of a nice thing that we get to watch our classes back, but the parents watch our classes. If they're not sitting right there in the classroom, they can watch them back anytime they want. The students can watch the classes back just for some extra practice. So you have to keep that in mind when you're teaching, that you always have to bring your A game. Okay, so here's my little alligator. I put these little spiky things on his back, glued it on. He just needs to sit and dry. So this is the number 6 in my toilet paper / paper towel roll prop making series. Alligator is number 6. House is number 5. Dalmatian dog is number 4. The snake is number 3. The octopus is number 2. You can watch me make an owl in number 1. Now, just a couple quick things before I totally end this series. Your Kleenex box you can save as another item to use in your classroom. I got this from, I believe it was teacher Amanda Panda. I'm not positive, but I think it was. And what she does is she puts different animals or different props in here, and she describes it with her words, and the student has to guess what she's pulling out of the Kleenex box. So a guessing game, but they have to really focus on our English words to guess what's inside that box. So super fun reward game that you can play with the students. Now, another VIP Kid teacher that I follow and kind of friends with is Paige Howell. Paige Howell is a VIP Kid teacher, and she made, if you hop over to her channel, some toilet paper tube animals, and one is Dino. Dino is our VIP Kid mascot, for those of you who don't know. And she also made a panda bear. How awesome is that? So with hers, she gave a little template out that you can download and kind of get the little pattern for making Dino or the panda bear. So I may go ahead and make that. I also wanted to show you some other things that I got off Pinterest, some cute, fun pictures of some other ideas. This one's a little frog. Kind of reminds you of those little frogs that are plastic and you stick your finger on them and they hop. Here's some super cute, easy little flowers. This is another version of a house, and they put like the little battery operated candles in it. Definitely looks like maybe like a birdhouse or like a little Chinese house of some type. So you could do that. There's an option of making a turkey. So this is kind of cut off, but if you go to Pinterest and look up turkey with toilet paper holders, you can find that. Here is a frog. Of course, when I printed that, it got cut off too, but cute, another little frog idea. And there's a couple of shark ideas. This shark, they made into binoculars, shark binoculars. Here is the other shark that I found. And this one, it looks like you could make it much longer, where that first shark was shorter. So they did a cone on the end to make it longer. And these little animal pictures I found, I thought would just help out with like the patterns, looking at them and seeing the shape for the animals. This is a cute fox. Isn't that adorable? And we do use a fox in our lessons a lot. Here's a bunny rabbit. Here is a butterfly, a zebra. We use the zebra a lot too. That's the fox. This is another version of the bunny rabbit. Looks like they used fun foam for theirs. Here's one that is a bee. I printed these out because they were ones that I was maybe going to make. I haven't decided yet. But you can see that little bee down in the bottom. And it gives you some ideas of how to make the bee. All my pipe cleaners are going for masks right now, so I don't have any spare pipe cleaners for making the bee. Here's a cute lion, and the mane of the lion is done with hearts around its face. So that one's fun. And then here were some where you could make some different monsters if you wanted to do that. So I hope you enjoyed my 6-part series on toilet paper and paper towel crafts. Remember, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you toilet paper, tubes empty instead of full, make VIP Kid teacher props or crafts with your kids. I hope you enjoyed this series. When I reach 150 subscribers, I will be giving away 6 props. So one whole set of these props to we'll have a random drawing for it. But when I reach 150, then someone will get a set of toilet paper and paper towel props. I'll probably give them an Amazon gift card as well, because, you know, some people might not be that impressed with my prop making skills. Anyhow, I hope you had a great time watching this series. Like and subscribe and share with your friends, and have a blessed day.